Hey guys, it's Austin with OutJeeping. In today's video, I'm going to be showing how to replace front sway bar links and bushings on your Jeep Cherokee XJ. Alright, to start off, I'm going to jack up the front end of the Jeep, and then we can lower the front axle down, and then we should be able to have enough room to take off the sway bar links. Alright, so I'm just going to leave the jack under there just to give a little bit of tension. Since we still have the wheels on the ground, it's not going to completely fall down all the way, but it should give us enough room to work. Alright, so as you can see right here is the sway bar links. They connect to the axle and all the way up to the sway bar. And as you can see, this one is pretty much shot. You know, the rubber is just falling off and everything, and you can definitely notice it when driving. It has a lot more body roll. So this is what it's supposed to look like, and we're going to replace it with that. Now when we're taking this off, we basically just got a nut up here, which is almost guaranteed to snap off because it's usually so rusted, and then we got another nut on the bottom, and this stud that goes through here, which goes through this bushing hole, is actually fixed into the axle, so it's just going to slide off that way. Coming up to the frame side, we have some bushings that connect the sway bar to the actual Jeep, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a gap. There's more on top, but yeah, you can see daylight through them, so they're pretty much worn out too, and I got some replacement ones here. Now before ordering bushings for the sway bar that connect to the body up here, you need to make sure that you actually measure how thick your sway bar is, because they actually varied between different models and stuff, and even the same years they had different size sway bars. So I basically just take a caliper and put it on here, and mine measured out to be 26 millimeters. Alright, so I'm going to start taking this nut off down here, and it's going to be an 18 millimeter. See if we can break it free first. There we go. I just got a washer to pop off. And we can do the same thing on the other side. Now, depending on how bad your bushings are, you can probably just hammer this off. Looks like this one's a little bit seized on, so we're going to go and take these off, and this should be a 15 millimeter. And that just broke right off. As I can see, that link is really seized up on the bottom, so we're going to have to try and hammer that off the best we can. Alright, the next thing we can do is remove these two bolts on either side of the frame rail. They're going to be a 15 millimeter. Then we can work this guy off. Alright, now we can clean up all that, and then we can get ready to put the new bushings in. Alright, now with the sway bar out, we can go and install the new bushings. Basically, the old ones, they just have a slit in it along with the new ones, so this easily pops off, and then this cap just goes over to retain it all into place. Now before I put the new one on, I'm just going to put some grease on here to prevent any wear. So the new bushings are going to be a little bit stiff since they're not actually rubber, they're plastic type. So just got to pry them open, and then they should be able to slide right on, like that. And make sure the flat side is up. Then we can do the other side. Now we can go install the sway bar back into the Jeep. Put some anti-seize in the holes in the frame. That way this won't seize up if I have to take this off again. Once you get the first side up, the other side is pretty easy. Helps if you have two people. Once you have all 4 bolts in, you can go and tighten them up equally. Alright, so now we can take our new sway bar link and put it into place. Once again, I put some anti-seize on the threads on here and also on the stud that's on the axle. Now when we put this in, we want to make sure that as it goes up, the bend is facing towards the Jeep. So in this case, since it's the driver's side, it's going to go towards the left if you're looking at the front. So I'm just going to slide it on here. And then we can take a washer and then our nut and thread it into place. Now with this sway bar link, I just have a little metal retainer along with 1 bushing, and then we're going to slip it into the hole on the sway bar. You're going to want to make sure you do both sway bar links at the same time, because once you have it lined up, they both have to go in at the same time. So I'm going to get that right there, and then do the other side. Then we can take another bushing and fit it on top, along with the retainer, and then our nut. Now I'm going to finger tight that for now, and then I'm going to jack up the axle where it's going to be at ride height, so that way this is all straightened up. Then we can tighten up on the bottom of the sway bar link and then the top. That way we won't have any binding when it's just sitting level. Alright, so up here it's going to be a 17 millimeter with the new sway bar links, and then we can tighten that up till the bushing starts to bulge out. Alright, that's nice and tight. As you can see, it's bulged out a little bit. I don't want to tighten it too much, otherwise the bushing might fail quicker than it's supposed to. So I'm going to go and tighten up the other side just like this. Then we can tighten up down here. Alright, so that doesn't need to be crazy tight, but tight enough. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. As you can see, it wasn't too hard to do, but if you live in the Rust Belt, you're going to have a harder time with those rusty nuts and stuff like that. Make sure to like and subscribe to the OutJeeping YouTube channel to help keep these videos coming. And as always, make sure to comment below and I'll be happy to answer. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next how-to.